time, and then who your mentors were on the Eagles, and those
Okay.
kind of things. Maybe what you did, what you were doing at the time you decided to come on to go out for the Eagles,
Uh-huh.
and you must have played rough touch. Is that
Well, I
what you were
did. Yeah,
playing?
I played for about 4 or 5 teams. As a matter of fact, I got one of my rough touch jerseys right over my right shoulder.
Yeah, you were playing rough touch when you decided to try out for the Eagles.
Well, sort of.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can embellish the story a little bit. I have it in a book, but it's
you
another
can
story. Well,
you
what
can.
about Janet? Do you guys need her? If not, we can just go right in.
Well, we had some
Raul, are you
questions.
here?
Because she wants to just do the first segment if we can. How long are we going to go? What's the segments here?
It's this you go for an hour.
All right.
Raul, should we do Janet's questions first or Vince's questions
Yeah,
first?
do Janet.
Depends.
Yeah, do
Okay.
Janet
All
first.
right. All
Oh,
Okay.
we're
right.
gonna do Janet first? Okay.
Who's up?
Raul, are you here?
Yeah, we're all here. Yeah, she's crazier than heck. She's doing her real estate stuff. It's been insane.
Basil, why
So
don't? Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean
I just
to.
want to
I
make
didn't
sure
mean to.
Raul's here as well. Raul looks like his video is not working or his audio is working. Not working. Raul? All right, I'm gonna call Raul.
No, I'll text him in a group chat.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch,
yeah.
um, this is this is kind of rude. Hello there. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Another
Good. This is
guest. Special surprise.
Hey,
Well,
William.
How are you, Bishop? How are you, Elijah?
Good.
uh, we have we have a scheduled interview with Vince Papale now. Uh, you know, you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying or not? Okay, he's not paying attention to
Are
me.
you talking to me?
No, no, no. I was talking to William.
What
Oh,
he said?
I said
Uh,
to you that we have a scheduled appointment to interview Vince Papale
Yeah,
right now.
Raul's having some computer issues, unfortunately, right now. He's logging on with his phone now. I just got off the phone with Raul. He's having computer issues for the first time ever.
Okay. Well,
It's usually very prompt.
yes, yes, he is. All right. So you want to go right into it, Vince?
Well, you tell me. Yeah, I would, like I say, I want Janet to go first, and then she's going to
Uh,
excuse herself after 15 minutes, and then I can take over.
okay.
Perfect. Well,
Well,
Raul should be able to come on here in a second. He'll start up the YouTube live. We need him to.
All right.
We need
So
Raul. He's the
when
host
should I
here.
call Janet in?
okay.
Now.
Probably a second after we say hi to Raul.
All right.
Oh man. We thought we were
We made the plan to come on here 15 minutes early, and it's
yeah,
almost 15 minutes after 9. So
Okay.
yeah.
there you are, Raul.
Finally.
Okay. All right. Uh
Raul, can you? Okay, you're in here 3 times, Raul. I see you.
Okay. Uh, we'll start the show now. Basil, can you start? Can you start?
Yeah.
okay.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Rockin' with Raul and the Three Amigos. We have an incredibly special guest tonight, from a 30-year-old walk-on to playing for the Philadelphia Eagles. His story is one of the most incredible underdog journeys in sports history. Please welcome Vince Papale and his wife, Janet.
Well, I'll have to get Janet, but hey, everybody, how are you? It's really glad to be here talking to you from Jupiter, Florida. And
Excellent.
I know we got a bunch of people in the Philly area, and I just turned on the Phillies game, and they're getting smoked.
Yeah,
So
it's 10-1. Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
hold on. Hey, Janet, you ready, hon? Well,
William,
I'll have to get Janet, but hey, everybody, how are you? It's really glad.
William, are you going to do the questions for Janet?
Yeah, I'll do the first three.
All right, see that jersey? See that jersey behind me? That's Janet's jersey. She wasn't a Giants fan.
Wow. Oh, I
Yeah,
She was
see.
a-
she represented the USA in gymnastics. So, all right, here you go, baby, right here.
Hi.
All right.
Hi,
Can you-
hi, Janet.
Hi.
That's right.
Got my Eagles. Saquon Barkley, the Penn State and the Eagle too.
Oh, she's a Penn
Yeah,
State.
yeah. And I have a Phillies T-shirt and 6 years of sweatpants on and a Flyers hat. Flyers made the
You
playoffs.
have everything covered.
You got it all covered. Well, we have to
Yes.
our daughter Janet used to our daughter Gabriella. That's that's the orange up there. She used to work for the Sixers. So, but anyway, I'd like to introduce you to my wife of almost 33 years, and she's my wingman. She handles it all over here down here in Florida. So you know, Janet. So what we're going to do is we're just going to let you. You're going to be you know, hanging out, and then in about 15 or 20 minutes, you can go do what you got to do. Okay.
Vince, we got some guests. We got some returning guests. My co-worker, he worked with me at PennDOT. His name is Elijah Morris, and he's the union for Ask Me Union. And we got Dalton Holland. He has another podcast, and it's called 302 Birds.
Oh,
And
wow, cool.
and plus we got Mr. Rob Martin. He's also part of the union called Ask Me.
The Philadelphia Union, the soccer team.
No, not the Philadelphia
Oh,
Union.
okay. The Union.
Yeah,
Labor
the union
Union.
union.
I wish. I'm not that athletic.
Yeah, because the Union's coach lived next to us in our house on Second Street. We have we're down here in Florida, but we have a house in 2 Street, 2 Second and Fitzgerald.
Okay.
That's
All right.
what I mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's whatever.
I know what you're talking about. I know. Yeah, I grew up in Olney on the north end.
I know where that is. You went to Olney High then.
Nah, I went to Cardinal Doherty.
Oh, then my
I was
sister,
one-
most of my family went to Cardinal Doherty.
What school
I
were
went
they?
to Northeast. What year did you graduate?
76.
So you might have known my sister. We were the Cantwells.
Yeah. Rita
So my
Cantwell.
brother Jerry, there were 9 of us. So
Rita, she was a cheerleader.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. I know who she
How
is.
about
Small
Yeah,
world.
we're the
Yeah.
old timers.
Hey,
Yeah.
can you see us? Can you see us both, by the way? Because I can't see my screen.
Yeah,
I
we
see
can
what
we
I'm
can
talking.
see you both.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
All right.
we can see you both.
Some we have some question for you.
I'll start off.
Go ahead, William.
Janet, when did you meet Vince?
When did you meet me?
Oh, when did I first meet him?
Yeah, when did you first meet Vince?
Probably in 1976. But
Wow.
we didn't get together until 1992.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But I was the head coach at University of Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
And so because I was a head coach of a Division I school, and Penn is very big into alumni and everything, we had to always do fundraisers and doing things with alumni to keep them involved in the university. And so I was at events with Vince when he became the Philadelphia Eagle, and I was the head coach at University of Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
So
Wow.
but we did not connect until 1992.
Well, some things take a while, you know. It's just slow moving along.
It's amazing.
I was tough.
For guys, time just seems to, like, you know, slip away, you know. It just
Well, I did a lot of groveling for 15 years, but
groveling. There you go.
yeah, finally, you know, I finally captured the target. So here she is. So we'll be celebrating our 33rd anniversary in August 14th, right around
After
when
Well,
we're going to become grandparents. Our daughter Gabriella is having a baby, so it's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Well, congratulations. Congratulations on all accounts.
congratulations to both of you.
So blessed.
Janet, how was it how was it like meeting Vince? How was that?
How was it meeting me?
How was it?
Yeah.
Well, he's good looking. So was a stud, but you know, you stay
Right.
away from those kind of guys.
Yeah, right. But you always drift towards them anyway, right?
Yeah, yeah, he was a player, let's put it that way. And
I'll bet he was. I'll bet he was.
Yeah,
and I wasn't.
I'm sure.
I was one of those good Catholic girls, you
Oh,
know.
okay. All right. I got you. I know a whole lot of good Catholic girls.
That's the first time she's ever told me I was good looking.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I
She's
guess I
keeping it-
passed the audition, right?
She's keeping the
Oh, my
spark
God.
alive.
Yeah. It was you know, no pun intended, but it was a rocky road to get started. I mean, but finally we connected, and whew, it's as good as it gets right now. We've got two beautiful children, and we're in heaven. We're especially down here.
Well, that's great. I'm glad.
And I know you two worked at a bar together. How was it like working at the bar? And what bar did you guys work at?
I never worked at a bar. I was not even a drinker. That was
Yeah.
Hollywood. That's
Yeah.
called real, REEL versus REAL.
All right, now we
I
just
was a-
cleared it
I
up.
was a teetotaler, and
We
I
just-
still sort of am, except today we were golfing and I had some wine, but that's unusual. Usually I drink water.
You're allowed. You're allowed to, occasionally drink wine. if
That
you so
was
desire.
you could tell the story, Janice, how you became in the movie. When they make that movie about you, don't expect it's going to be 100%. They're
Oh,
going
I'm
to
sure.
around a little bit.
Yeah.
So you see that jersey behind us? That was Janet's jersey. That's the one that she wore, and that's the team that she played for. But about her becoming a Giants fan, that's an NFL creation, and would you just sort of leave it at that? So
Well,
and if she
she's a
wants
Philly girl.
she can fill in the she can fill in the
And
blanks.
I'm the oldest of 9, and the first 6 were girls, so we did not watch football. And my father either worked a lot or was somewhere else a lot.
Okay. What part of Philly are you from?
Northeast.
What, St. Ambrose?
No, St. Cecilia's.
St. Cecilia's.
So
Okay.
we went to St. Cecilia's, and because I had made the U.S. team, and so I missed a lot of school. So I was supposed to go to Cardinal Doherty, where you went.
That's right.
They said I would never graduate because I missed too much school.
Well, hey,
So I went to public school.
you did what you loved, so that's what it's all about. I wanted to ask you, what college did you first play for?
Me?
Yes.
I have like several. Because you know how they have the draft right now where they could go wherever?
Right.
The portal.
Yeah.
Well, gymnasts could go wherever they wanted. And so I started in Trenton State. I did a semester there. Then I did a semester at Miami-Dade. Then I did a semester at Temple. And then I did a semester at Penn State. And then I stayed there for 2 years, and I was the head coach or the assistant coach at State College High. And I also ran the Nittany Gymnastics School. And then I got the opportunity to be the head coach at University of Pennsylvania. So I horse traded a degree. I paid my money to Penn State. Temple sort of watched me student teach. And then I did a couple, what do you call it?
Education courses?
Yeah, well, you know how you could do online courses.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a deal for me to become a head coach. I had to get my degree, and I thought it was an easy deal. But the bottom line is your last 30 credits have to be from the college you graduate from.
Yeah.
So because I could do student teaching, I gave my money to Penn State, but because I knew I was a Philly girl and they knew I was a gymnast and everybody knew us, they were willing to watch me student teach at Lower Merion. But my money went to Penn State and we got around it. So it's called a horse trade. But you know what? When you want to do something, you figure out a way. It's not always a straight line.
I'm figuring
Get to the end zone,
I'm figuring you had to hire somebody to take care of your paperwork. you know.
I had to do that too, but I worked it.
Yeah, you did work the system pretty good.
Yeah, well, that's what it's life is really about.
And she
Now-
hasn't changed. She hasn't changed either. She
Right.
knows how to work the system.
Now they're paying them. See, They're guys are getting $25,000 a year to play college football. Not a bad deal.
That's about the NIL and the portals. That's another story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
we
no
didn't
such-
get any of that, but
No.
because gymnastics wasn't anything big, they allowed us to go wherever we wanted. And if I didn't like the coach there, I went to the next one, and there was no kind of repercussion back then. And that was in the 70s. But I
Yeah.
was part of Title IX, and I was part of the women and getting them to have equal due process. But
Right.
it was also a time when men's swimming, gymnastics, wrestling,
All went away.
because they all they did was jockey and change how you got paid or how the money was distributed. So they got rid of the sports that didn't really make money for men, and they sort of traded it over to the women. So I was in that era.
Yeah, of course. Yes. You must have played for some club teams.
What they say?
Did you play? Were you on any club teams? You were with the.
Playing
No,
soccer, I'm
I
sure.
was on the US team. I went to the college teams and I did that. But other than that, I blew out my knee against the Hungarians.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
so when I blew that out, you know how they say athletes are a very unusual group, and you're trained at a very young age. I happened to be like 10 or 11 years old when I started gymnastics, which is very old for a gymnast. These kids now start at 5, 6, 7 years old. I was 11, almost 12, but I had lost my spleen at 9, and I had rheumatic fever, and then I had a heart conditioning. So I wasn't really considered, and I was going to be like Cinderella, take care of the family, and not be anything.
Right.
I used to say to them, "Can I go to the gym?" And they went to the doctor. The doctor said, "Yeah, sure." And I was a klutz. And my uncle used to give me quarters to do back bends and do stuff like this. And I would make him laugh if he had a bad day. And I just was so determined. My sisters were very talented. I mean, they really were. I was like the goof. But I made the US team, me. But it was because I just wasn't willing to give up. It was my heart, my soul, it was everything. And what you have to remember is when you engross yourself or give 100% commitment to something, you lose out on other parts of your life.
Yes, sure.
And so what happens is when that dream is taken away because of an injury or because you're not good enough, you are lost. And a lot of the athletes never get to a next level
Right.
in a career or anything. And what I did is I wasn't fulfilled in not making the Olympics. I was supposed to be in the 72. I got injured and I was going for the Montreal Olympics, and I blew out my knee against the Hungarians, and I was devastated. And I thought I could come back, because it's your mindset that you can do whatever.
Sure.
And what happened is it was impossible for me to do gymnastics again at that level.
Yeah.
So I tried tennis, and then I went to 1 and 3 meter diving, and I broke all the records in 3 months at Penn State. So I said, I'm going to go to the Olympics in diving. That's going to be my next goal. And I'm at a camp and I'm teaching, and the coach that I had worked out in gymnastics, I was doing a lot of work with them. And we were at Camp Sky Mountain, I'll never forget, in the Poconos. And it was the Montreal Olympics. And the coaches from the Montreal Olympics had just ended, and the coaches from South Africa were there. And University of Penn was looking for a head coach. I hand wrote a resume to Penn and said, "I'm out of camp. I don't have a typewriter, but this is who I am. And, if you want to interview me, this is how you can get in touch with me." And at the same time, the university,
No cell phones, by
no
the way.
cell phones,
Right.
and at the time, Penn, the South African people saw me teaching, and I was very into being able to get kids to come out of their shell and push them to the next level. And they go, "Hey, would you want to come to South Africa? We'll pay you to go." I said, "If you want to pay me, you can pay me, and I'll go to South Africa." Never thinking any of this would happen. All
But of
right,
course it
you
did.
just throw your hat in the arena and you don't care. And when you don't care is when you get stuff.
Oh, absolutely. It's when you
No,
really
just don't
want it
say,
really
"Yeah,
bad.
it doesn't matter." It's just like you throw it in there.
Yeah.
And so, first of all, I get an interview with Penn. I'm going back to Penn State. I got another year there, and I'm going to do 1 and 3 meter diving. And I think, oh, I may get the Olympics. I'm going to break. I already broke school records, and I only dove for 3 months. I know that I can do this. Although I didn't like it, I didn't like landing in the water and hitting the water and being cold and miserable. But I'd rather sweat,
But
And
other than that,
She still does.
yeah. And so, that happened. And but I do the interview with Penn, and I go in and I go, "Oh, this is what I'm going to do." Never thinking I'm going to get it.
right.
And then the people from South Africa reach out to me and they go, "We want you to come to South Africa. Can you come after your in April, May?" I said, "Well, I don't graduate until May." I said, "I can come after that." Well, Penn offers me a job, and the deal was I have to get my degree. I go, "Oh, no problem." I go to Penn State and they go, "Oh no, you have to go to Hershey to get your degree." I go, "Are you nuts? I'm going to be a head coach at a Division I school. Who do you know that's in physical education that can get a head coach job at a Division I school? You have to work with me."
Was
And
it for swimming or
I did.
gymnastics?
Huh?
Was it for swimming
Yeah,
or
gymnastics.
gymnastics? Yeah. What was it like being into gymnastics?
What was it like?
Yeah.
She's telling us
And I loved it. It was wonderful. It was
it was life.
it was my whole life. It was about control, feeling good, being able to be in control of yourself. It was who I was, and it's who I identified with.
Uh,
And so, as a woman, that you've got those that are crazy girls and they do all this and they're in a group. I wasn't one of those kind of girls. I was a good girl. I never drank, I never smoked. I didn't, when you come from a large family, your unit is your family.
Yeah, I'm the
You don't
oldest of
have
7.
outside influences.
Right.
And we were raised with my cousins. I have 57 first cousins.
I
I'm from
believe
9.
that.
My mother was from 9. My father was from me. So we hung out with our cousins. So everything was about a family.
Right.
So you never thought about getting in trouble. You always did what you were supposed to. And every Sunday, the families got together. We had down the shore, we would go to Ocean City and we would hang out there with all the cousins. We'd sleep in cots, we sleep in beds, we sleep together. We were always all together. So we were a family. And
Right.
so you never needed an outside influence.
well, one of the viewers that's watching our show, he had a question. His name is Aaron Edwards. He's asking, what subject did you study in Penn State?
What did I study? I
Yeah.
was in physical education.
Physical education.
Well, what you have to understand is athletes, and this goes for all athletes, a lot of times you don't know what you want to do. So you go into different things and you're in sports. You'll find that a lot of the football players will go into coaching. Gymnasts will go into being a gymnastics coach.
Right.
Because what happens with athletes, and not just gymnasts, but especially like football, you're trained from a very young age that you're told what to do. You're told how to think. You're told how to eat. You're told how to sleep. You how to do this. You have a regimen.
Told how to step.
And so you never think outside the box. So a lot of times you don't take the risk again because you know what the risk is going to be. You know,
Right.
you have to give up a whole lot. You don't party. You don't go to, you don't go to happy hours. You know,
Uh-huh.
you don't do things that other people your age do. So you're different. And that's not always good or bad, but you don't fit in a lot of times
Oh,
because you've been programmed to be controlled
right.
and to people make decisions for you. So when you all of a sudden are not an athlete and you have to make decisions for yourself, you're like, how do I do it? You're afraid to fail. You're afraid to take risk because you don't, because at a certain level, you're at a high level that all of a sudden, if you fall off that peak, you're going to be, you're like, oh no, I'm not good enough. I'm not. You have self-doubt. You have all these things that come into play,
Mhm.
and it becomes a circle. And
Yeah.
a lot of times you don't know how to get out of your own way. And so, a lot of times you need to be coached to get to the next level and to let them know that it's okay. These athletes now make 100,000, 200,000, and they're nobodies. And all of a sudden they have to go out in the real world because they're finished with sports and they have to make 40,000. And it's like, well, I'm going to wait till I make 100. But you have no other experience. You have no experiences at all. And you don't even have life experiences because you've been guarded. So a lot of times you spiral into something that you never can get out of because they haven't been coached and they're not willing to be coached to the next level because they don't know how. And you see it a lot of times with athletes, and not just football players, but gymnasts. You'll find them being coaches, not because they thought they were going to be something else. It's just they didn't know what else to do. And it was
Yeah.
the logical progression.
Yeah, it's their life. So they play ball or they was a gymnast, and that's all you know because you have to. I mean, if you're playing football or you're doing gymnastics, that's a constant thing. You're constantly working. And like you said, I mean, that's all you know. So once you get done doing that, then the next, like you said, the next logical leap would be to get involved in coaching. Yeah.
So when a kid gets out of college, most college kids have to do an internship, and these football players, let's say, never get to do an internship. They might have a little bit of something to say they can put on their resume, but they've never had the experience of working in an office other than saying, okay, you can do this and we'll work around your schedule. And then all of a sudden you have to be in an office from 9 to 5 and you're like, wait a second, I have to work out, I have to do this. They don't know how to juggle, they don't know how to coordinate. And and so somebody that's 28, even 30, you have to look at them as 20-year-old kids, even though chronologically they're at an older age, because they don't have those kind of life experiences that other kids have at their age at 21.
Right.
So
Right.
it's just a different way of going through life and experiencing and getting to the next level. And a lot of them never get to the next level because they don't know how to get to the next level because they've been coached their whole life. They've been told what to do their whole life.
Right.
And they follow a plan, and then the plan is gone. It's also very true with the military. All these guys have a purpose. They don't know how to even eat. They have to eat, sleep, and drink exactly what the military tells them. And then you go, okay, you're done. And they go, well, what's my role?
Yeah. It
Or
broke me.
as our friend that lives across the street, who's a retired general from the Marine Corps, what's their purpose?
Yeah.
I just had an opportunity to speak to some former military guys and former NFL guys, and the whole thing was about, after you're done, what's the purpose?
Yeah.
Because you're so structured, you have this lane that you're in, and
Right.
if you deviate from the lane, you might be gone. And all of a sudden you're out there, and now there's 6 or 8 or 10 lanes, and they're coming all different directions, and there's different routes to take. And it's not easy. And it's, why a lot of guys, just have a very difficult time making that adjustment.
And they get taken advantage of.
Yeah, and of course, because they could be that that little trinket. Maybe it could be this right of these. That they have star power, but once they have to go and do something other than receiving a football or making a basket or whatever, it's a whole different ball game. So it's not easy, but
And
have it
la-
make sure you have a good financial person while you're bringing it all in, because it's not going to be guaranteed when you get out.
and last question for Janet before we go to Vince. Can you talk about your real estate business and when did you start the real estate business?
In my real estate, sure.
Yeah.
Well, I happen to be at Penn, which is #1 in the country, Wharton. And I happen, because I was a head coach, I was able to go to school for free there. And so I got
Wow.
into real estate I got to go to school for free. So
Yeah.
I started taking real estate courses and I got involved in it. And what happened is I ended up making as much in 2 real estate transactions that I did in a year of doing coaching. And I go, oh, this is great. And so I got into real estate and I've been doing it 43 years. I started in 1984, and
who did
I
you
did it
start with?
part-time in the beginning because I was still a coach. And then I realized I needed to do it 100% and commit. And then, of course, the real estate market is cyclical. So when I was on the high and then it went down and I went, what did I do? And you have to figure it out, and got involved with women in transition, because you have to understand, I'm 72. So I'm like, women weren't really working out back then. So I started getting involved with women and teaching them how to do non-traditional type jobs, teaching them how to lift, how to keep in shape, how to have a core. We did all those kind of things. And so it supplemented my real estate until I could get back on. And then, neurotic me that I am, I had to learn how to appraise. So I knew how to really assess what a instead of saying, oh yeah, your home is worth this amount just because you pulled it out of the air. I wanted to be very in depth and understand what it was about. And so, I mean, now my children are involved in it. And I'm in 3 states. So I'm in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Florida. So I have a team, and I sell real estate all over. But it's not really about real estate. It's about doing what's right for your client and making sure that it's not a lot of people want an end run. They want a one and done, and they want to be able to say and just move on to the next person. I don't work like that. I think that you have to have integrity and you have to be fair with people. And what happens when money gets involved, the water gets muddied, and integrity sometimes gets compromised, and people want to compromise. And I am totally against all of that. I think you have to do what's best for the people that you care about. And my clients, like I have people that I've been working with since 1999, and they're still my client in 2026. And I've sold them 8 or 10 houses. And I work with families that I've done all their family real estate, whether I'm in Pennsylvania or in New Jersey. And I always say, anybody can show a house. It's all about negotiating.
What's the name of your company for real estate?
We're the Papale Group, and we're out of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Florida.
Oh,
How's the market like this year compared to 6 years ago?
Well, if you're talking about
COVID,
that was really, if you're talking pre-COVID, like you could really get some great deals. And then COVID came and people really got, they were waiving inspections. They just wanted a house. They just wanted to get out. And now those people that bought in 2021, 22, if they have to sell now, they're taking a bath. If you have the staying power, and that's what what's good about investing in real estate. If you don't have to sell and you can hold on to it, it may go down, but guess what? It will come back. Whereas if you're in the stock market, if it goes down, it may disappear. And we're victims of that too. You know, we've invested in the stock market and we finally just said we're out of it, because at least with real estate, it's a tangible asset that you can look at and work at. But it's not easy.
Oh, no, not at all.
Th-
Rahul,
Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining, Janet.
Thank you
All
for
right,
joining,
well, have
Janet.
fun with Vince. He'll make you laugh.
Okay.
Oh,
Bye.
hey, thank you,
yes,
Janet.
thank you.
Nice
It was-
hoodie, by the
Hey,
way.
thanks,
Yes.
Janet.
Let's go,
All right.
birds.
All right,
Sure.
yeah, let's go birds. Let me just shuffle over here and I'll get in the middle of the screen and make an adjustment. So anyway, Janet, as you can tell, you got two jocks in the house, and our kids obviously they're athletes, and you know we have quite the active life, so it's pretty cool. It's never a dull moment in the Papale household. That's for sure. That's for darn sure.
Rob or Dalton, do you want to ask? You want to ask some question for Vince? We can start with Rob.
I actually, I do have one question because I know a lot of, and thank you for our role. I do appreciate it. I know a lot of like modern athletes, they have a lot of help in the NFL as far as finding an apartment. You know, if someone loses the dog, Big Dom's gonna help them find their dog. You know, things like that. Was there any resources for you guys back in the day, or not back in the day, but when you were playing?
Well, not really. You know, we had some people that would come and, you know, a lot of us, and a couple, you know, one guy tried to take advantage of us and selling us some real estate and doing some work with them. But we had a guy that used to work with the FBI, and every team had one of them, and he was sort of our counselor. And you know, with me, I was sort of overwhelmed with everything because you know, I didn't play college football and then work in the NFL, and then all of a sudden I'm hit by so many people, and I'm a very trusting and sometimes too trusting, and I got taken advantage of frequently. And now I've got my wing lady, I got my wingman, you know, Janet. I mean, she is so clinical and so analytical on everything that she does. But we really didn't have that person. You know, I had a guy who said he was an agent, but you know, it just evolved, and that's okay. I did all right. You know, I made a few mistakes here and there, but you know, and I signed maybe I signed some papers that I shouldn't have signed without the help of an attorney or whatever. But I did it, made the mistake, and I know I'll never do it again. But you know what? I look back at it, it was all good because it had a happy ending. So
yeah, well, that's excellent.
yeah, that's a good question. I like that one. I've never been asked that before.
Uh,
Raul, can I read the first question?
Yeah.
This is Tim. Vince, when did you try out for the Eagles?
Well, it was it was 76. It was April. It's when Dick Vermeil had that free agent tryout. And it wasn't, you know, I wasn't, I had a couple of years before, yeah, I was a track guy and I was a decathlete. My goal, my dream was is to become proficient in the decathlon. I was trying to qualify for the Olympic trials, and I couldn't get into any meets that would allow me to do a total decathlon. If you took the 10 events and you took my best performance at any one of those events, like I could run a 9,700. You know, I could run a 48, 440. I could pole vault 15 feet. I could do this. I could do that. If you added all those 10 things up, I would have qualified for Olympic trials, but I never got in. So I got pissed off. Started playing semi-pro football, and that wound up a free tryout with Coach Vermeil.
So you were playing
Wow.
semi-pro football. You were knocking heads.
Yeah, I played semi-pro football with the Aston Knights of the Eastern Seaboard League in Sun
Oh,
Valley.
yeah.
We played our Friday night lights, and there it was, you know, and there were a bunch of guys that played college ball, and some of the guys didn't play college ball. You know, they were great high school players and never even went to college, but that's what it was. And Actually, I was in one game when we were playing in a championship where I had about 10 receptions and 4 touchdowns, and the guy and the opposing coach saw the performance, and the Philadelphia Bell of the World Football League was just starting in 1974, and they had a free agent tryout, believe it or not, in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And I went there, and there were about 60 or 70 wide receivers, and I popped the fastest 40. And before you know it, after about 4 or 5 tryouts with a Bell, I wound up starting for them. And then the league folded after a year and 4 games. And I was going to go back to my teaching job at Interboro High School in Delaware County, which was my alma mater, and I was the head track coach. And I was going to go back, and they put me on a leave of absence. So I was bartending and I was substitute teaching. And then Coach Ramil comes into town and gives me the opportunity of a lifetime. And he has a great saying. He says, an opportunity is worth to a person exactly what their preparation enables them to make it. And man, I was prepared. And he was looking for that one. He wanted 5 wide receivers. He had Carmichael Smith and a few others, but he was looking for that 5th guy that was going to be his bomb squatter.
Right.
And as soon as he saw me, and I was 30 years old, and I didn't care about nothing. I didn't favor anybody, and I just kept throwing my body around all over the place, and he loved it. And then they found out I could catch a football too. And that rookie year, I actually, in the movie, they made it look like I was diminishing, but actually, in reality, I led the team in touchdowns and receptions in my rookie year, and that was it. That sealed the deal.
Wow.
What did you do conditioning wise to get ready to try out for the Eagles?
Well, I was I was a decathlete, so I had that kind of training. So I would start every workout with 3 or 4 mile run at a maybe 7, 8 minute clip, a pretty good clip, and then I would
Wow.
do
Yeah.
whatever it was. I wasn't really into the weights back in the day. In '76, a lot of the guys will remember the Nautilus machines, so we had the Nautilus machines. But the routine for me was basically low weights, high reps, low weights, high reps, and keeping my heart rate up and those kinds of things. And doing sprints, doing interval training, and those kinds of things. So it wasn't so much the weight. I had natural strength. It wasn't the weights. It was mostly the endurance that I had. And when I went to training camp, that's where I showed a lot of guys were they were just fried because of
Blown
the
out.
heat
Yeah.
and full pads. We went full pads all the time. And here I was in tip-top shape. I came in at 198, and I left training camp at 183.
Oh, I'll bet.
Yeah, but it's okay. You know,
Yeah.
like I say, he came up to me and said, "Welcome to the team, old man. You're a Philadelphia Eagle." And there it is. Got 4 years in. Got my varsity letter, as they say.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you were trying out for the Eagles, who were the first players that took you under your wing?
Hal Carmichael. Yeah, Hall of Famer Hal Carmichael. I mean, he took me under his wing, and he was one of my favorites. But Harold, with all his height and strength and everything that he had and his size, he wouldn't run downfield and blow somebody up. So I said, "Come on, man!" I said, "Come on, Harold, just watch me and watch." And then he started doing it. Before you know it, Harold and I were hanging out. We were going to parties together. We were going to bars together. We were doing everything together. So then, there were a couple guys that were really pulling for me on the defensive side because I was getting a lot of crap from them because I was hitting everything that moved. And, a couple of the guys like Bill Berge, John Bunning, Frankie DeMaster, Billy Bradley, and those guys were all rooting for me. Plus, my quarterback was back then was Roman Gabriel. I trained with Roman Gabriel in the off season prior to that first tryout that I went to, and he was a really big help, and he was a really really big help. And then but Carmichael, he taught me he taught me things, and I taught him things, and we're still the best of friends. I love him to death. He's like a brother. He's my paisan.
Oh,
So
there you go.
he's
There you
great.
go. What are the other questions? Will, go ahead. Keep
I
going.
got some questions.
But I want to give Basil a chance
Oh,
to.
okay. All right. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
it's his
Basil.
turn next.
So what were some of the drills that you had to perform for the coaches in that first tryout?
Well, first thing we had to do, we had to run a 40-yard dash. So there were about 35 or 40 wide receivers there, and I popped in grass, I popped a 4.5. And when they called the name of the guys to go to the next drill, that my name wasn't called. And for the first time, one of the first times in my life, I stood up for myself and said, "What the F does somebody got to do to what was it? What was the top speed there?" They said 4.7. And I said, "Well, I just popped a 4.5." And they said, "No, there's no way you could have done it." And I said, will you give me another shot?" And they gave me another shot. And four clocks were on me. And they weren't, they were the old clocks.
Right.
And they weren't the digital ones. And I popped a couple 4.5s, I actually had a 4.45. So anyway, so Coach Ramil, when he saw that, he said, "Oh, let's see what this guy can do." And he put me in the next drill, which is 7-on-7, which is 7 defensive guys, 7 offensive guys, just all receivers and all defensive backs and linebackers. So you had the 3 linebackers on defense, your 4 backs, and then you had your tight ends and your running backs and your quarterback on the offensive side. And that was just like the rough touch leagues that I was playing in. And then we just went from one to the other. We went into blocking, and then what they wanted to see if we could read a defense, and they put us through drills about reading a defense. And for some reason, I was given a gift from God to be able to read a defense. I'd come off, and I'd have the triangle coming off there. The triangle be one of the safeties, be the cornerback, and be the linebacker to my side, weak or strong side. And in 2 strides, I knew exactly what the defense was. And it was my first preseason game where I got 2 first downs after the 2-minute drill, doing what they called a sight adjustment, and I was able to get first downs against the San Diego Chargers. And then the next week we were playing in a preseason game. We had six that year, and we were playing New England, and I wound up scoring a touchdown, making a few catches, and then it just went like that. But the drills that we were doing, a lot of it was just you just had to be in shape, and I was in phenomenal condition, and maybe the best shape of my life. And I got the shot, but guys were walking. It was like the Navy SEALs, when the Navy, they rang the bell. They would go when they say, "I've had enough," we'd ring the bell. And I wasn't ringing any bells. There was no way, but guys were walking off the field. And here's really the best thing. When I went to the locker room at Widener College, where we had our preseason, I'd hear some of the veterans bitching and moaning about how tough Ramil was and how tough the practices were. And I said that was music to my ears, especially when I heard a wide receiver do that. So, and then one more thing, which, the wide receivers line, there might be 10 or 13 guys in the wide receivers line. Well, after I got done doing my drill, a lot of the guys were just all bent over already because they were exhausted. And here I was still fresh because of my training regimen that I had done when I was a decathlete. I'd say, "Hey, mind if I jump there in the front?" And they go, "Oh, yeah, yeah, go ahead, go ahead, 83." So I get there. Next thing you know, that night I'd be on the film 8 or 10 times in that wide receiver drill, and usually catching the ball because Roman Gabriel was throwing to me. And the fans in the stands, Widener College was only 8 miles from Glen Olden, Delaware County, where I grew
Right.
up. And then the stands are my dad, everybody from Westinghouse, and my students and everybody else. Every time I catch a pass, the fans would go crazy. It's like the Flyers winning the other night, getting that winning goal. That's the way it was. I'd look up in the stands and they would just motivate me. If I was tired, I got over it real quick.
It picked you up, huh?
Huh, you kidding me? If it weren't for them. And then I'd go out, I would just come in for pregame, pre-practice warm-ups, and they'd start cheering and screaming, "Vincenzo," so it was pretty cool.
Go ahead, Basil, ask some more.
And what was the atmosphere around Dick Vermeil's match tryout like? Was it intimidating? What was the atmosphere like?
Pretty loose. It was pretty loose. It wasn't all that intimidating, because a lot of the guys were certainly not in the condition that some of the other guys were. I mean, some guys were invited, and they were the collegiate athletes, but it was pretty loose, and after about an hour or two, it was over. And right at the end, if you see the movie, the guy who had the cape in, that's Tony Luke, from Tony Luke's
Oh yeah,
Philadelphia.
yeah.
That's
Forks,
real
Yeah,
Tony Luke.
cheesesteak place.
broccoli Rob.
Yeah, Broccoli Rob, that's it, man. You got it right. That and the
Good
roast
old
beef.
Tony Luke's.
Who was that?
Good old Tony Luke's.
Yeah, Tony Luke's.
Yeah, yeah, I would love to eat that one of these days.
Man, you can't get
Again.
them down here as much with her. We have a couple. We have a couple of spots, but you know, you gotta have that bread, man. You have to have that amoroso roll.
Right.
And you know, it has to be seeped in you know, in Schuylkill River water. You know, you never know what's going to be floating down. You
Yeah.
know, whether
It
it's-
could be a body, could be a
Uh,
log.
Yeah, we have rivers here, like right where I live. Actually, I'm right around the corner from a river. You can literally drink from it, you know, except it's got a little salt water in it. They're so clean, you know. It's nothing like it is. It's not like it is at home, but you know, it's fun. But
Vince, speaking of spots and cheesesteaks, have you ever been to Gino's Steaks, Pat Steaks, Jim Steaks, D'Alessandro Steaks,
What's your favorite
Chubby
cheesesteak?
They're all-
and
they're all
Chubby
my
Steaks?
favorite.
And there's a new cheesesteak place in South Philly where where the stadiums are. It's called Skinny Joe's. It's been open for a year. If you heard of it yet.
Skinny Joe Merlino.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've
Joey
been-
Merlino. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joey's down here. He's in Miami.
Do you know who
Really?
Joey
Right now?
Merlino?
Pardon me?
Right now?
Yeah, I think so. But all those names, all those places you've said, you know, I've been to them all. And we have a house. I don't live there anymore, but we have a house on 2th Street at 2nd and Fitzwater. And you know, so Jim's is right there at 4th Street.
Yeah.
Right.
And, you know, Pat's and Gino's is over on Passyunk Avenue. You go there, I would go to Pat's and I go to Gino's. I go to Gino's, I go to Pat's.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just didn't
I-
like the cheese whiz. I was
I
a
bet-
big fan.
I've
Gotta
been to
have
the
it.
other cheesesteak places, but not Pat's. I haven't eaten cheesesteaks from Pat's and Chubby Steaks yet.
Okay. Well, they're all good. You know,
Um,
I wouldn't say one's better than the other because they're all better than what we have down here. So, you know,
when and how did you find out that you made the team?
oh, that's a great question. In the movie, you know, the guy that cuts everybody, they call him the Turk. He's the guy that walks
Yeah.
up to you and says, "Coach wants to see you. Bring your playbook." You know, your ass is grass, right? You're
Yeah,
done.
you're done.
Yeah, you're finished. Fini quoi. So the coach comes walking up and he's looking at me and he's smiling, he's laughing. And I thought for sure he was, and I go and I grab my playbook and he looked at me and then he really started laughing. And he looked over at one of the other guys, one of the other wide receivers, not to mention, and he says, "Coach wants to see you. Bring your playbook." And so that was it. And then I had my own locker and my name was spelled properly and everything. And we went out and we were playing the Dallas Cowboys the next week. And we go out and the stadium is set up for the Phillies because it's late summer, early fall.
And it was the vet.
We're right field stretching, and I'm looking up around and I'm saying, "Oh my God," you know, because I'd never been. We didn't have any, you know, we didn't really do anything official in the locker room together as a team. It was all one-on-one kind of stuff. And I'm thinking, "Oh, my dad could only see me right now." And then Coach walks up to me and starts smiling. He says, "Congratulations, old man. You're a Philadelphia Eagle. Welcome to the team." And I went out of my mind. I jumped
Oh.
into his arms like, you know, crazy. And I said, "Oh my God." I said, "Coach," I said, "can I make a phone call?" He said, "What, are you going to have a press conference already?" I said, No. I want to call my dad. My dad's at Westinghouse. He worked at Westinghouse on the river.
Right.
Yeah. And so I got a hold and I knew the Phillies locker room or the Phillies dugout. They had a payphone. Remember payphones?
Yeah.
Remember a collect call?
Yeah.
You know, everybody's got, you know, everybody's got one of these. You forget when you had to put a quarter in there, you know, and you get a collect call and, "Hey, this is a collect call from Vince Papale." And so the shop steward, Slim, he's right out of Central Casting. He said, what, who? And this is a collect call from Vince Papale. "I'll accept it. I'll take the call." And I just said, "Hey, Slim," I said, "tell Kingy," that's my dad's nickname. I said, "tell Kingy his little boy Vincey is a Philadelphia Eagle." And in the background, you could hear Slim going, "Hey, Kingy, we effing did it, man. We effing did it. Vincey's an Eagle. Vincey's an Eagle." And they went nuts. And but it was just like
Okay.
Rudy when he called his father, if you remember. So they wanted to use that same scene in the movie, but they couldn't do it because they would have called it a Rudy moment and it would have been plagiarism. And
Yeah.
so we created that scene where I was called into the coach's office, and when at the end I went to push over, I was pushing the playbook to him, and he says you might want to hang on to that for a while, and that's how they made that, created that scene. And it's like Janet, you know how Janet become a Giants fan because the NFL. Janet was a gymnast when I first met her because the NFL wanted Janet to be a Giants fan because the NFL was up there, and we needed the NFL's endorsement for the all the rights, you know, because of the branding rights. So I said to Janet, "Well, you don't have to do this." She says, "We don't have to do it." I said, "Christ, they're investing $60 million in this movie." You know, and you talk about real estate. Janet got the real estate job, and she wound up getting everybody and all the staff that came in from Disney and all the actors and everybody else that stayed. She provided the housing for them, so that was quite a deal
Wow.
for them. That was my
Yeah.
bonus.
Yeah, that worked
Eli-
perfectly.
Elisha or Rob, do you want to ask a question to Vince? Vince,
I
my
do.
coworker Elisha, he's a Rev. He's the Rev.
I do. Vince, it is a pleasure to be here. I thank Rahul
Thanks,
for
Elijah.
inviting me to be a part. I turned 69 on Palm Sunday. So I say that to say I know your story. I've watched it. It's awesome. And I'm just wondering, I'm looking at you and you're looking well, you're looking fit, you and your wife. What kind of advice would you have for young people today that are high school or college trying to get into the NFL when it comes to finances? Because you look like you have somehow, either yourself or a financial person, manage your finances, and you couldn't have been making that much when
No,
you
I
got
was
on.
making a heck of a lot. But the movie, we've done okay. You know, the movie turned it upside down because I was coaching and travel. I was traveling all over the world, giving speeches at astronomical rates, which was amazing. And Janet is a great financier, so she took care of most everything. I thank you very much for saying and saying about my health because I just rang the bell for prostate cancer.
Oh
Oh,
man.
God bless you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
God
I
bless
got
you.
what they call proton therapy. I did 39 sessions, and then March 6th, I rang the bell,
Oh
and
right.
so I'm cancer free, and I'm pretty excited about it. And I'm going to become a
Beautiful.
grandfather, and my son plays for Italy's flag football Olympic team, and he's going to be in a world championship in a couple of months. So I got a lot to look
Congratulations.
for. But you know, to get back to Elijah, what your question was, and you know, what would I do with them is, you know, first of all, you know, find somebody that you can trust, you know, because it's very difficult to do your own investing, and just be very careful and be careful of the quick hits because there's so much that's going on out there. You know, AI will scare you. You know,
Right.
it scares the hell out of me. I mean, just 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I just read my obituary in Facebook that was done by
Wow.
AI. And then somebody else did another AI when I was in a wheelchair. They would say my daughter walked up to me and gave me a kiss and a hug after singing a song dedicated to me, which didn't happen, and those kinds of things. So be really careful about who you trust and who you're putting your faith and trust in. And more than anything is just, you know, be aware of opportunities and you know and don't take anything for granted and don't let anybody tell you that you can't. When you like I have this great quote that I say all the time when I go and speak, and it was given to me by my high school coach, my mentor, Coach George Corner. He's the guy. My mother suffered from mental illness and anxiety and spent a lot of time at Haverford State Mental Hospital. So you
Yeah.
all know it. Anybody in the Delaware Valley knows what that is. And my coach had a mother that was very similar to that, and he became my mentor. And when I was 30 years old and I was going to try out for the Eagles, I said, "What do you think?" I said, "They're breaking my balls like you can't imagine. You're too old. It's never been done before. It's not in your resume. It's too risky. You're going to get hurt. It's this, that's the other thing." And he just said, "Just listen to me." He said, "Happy are those who dream dreams and are willing to pay the price to make the dreams come true. When I was a little boy and I saw Tommy McDonald out there, and I saw Timmy
Oh.
Brown out there, and I saw those guys winning the world championship at that time against Green Bay Packers, all I wanted to do was to be a Philadelphia Eagle. I dreamed about it as a kid, and I finally got that chance. And I'm like, God damn, if I was going to let anybody take that away from me. And I worked my butt off. I worked harder than everybody. And Coach saw it, and he rewarded me with it. And that dream was there, and I paid the price. I paid the price that had to be paid, and I sacrificed and I gave up a lot of stuff. And I figured, like Janet did, for her to get to that world-class level that she
Right.
was at, that's what you got to do. You can't take anything for granted. So
Man, that's excellent.
just
Excellent.
hang in
Thank
there.
you.
Yeah, and failure just is learning it, like they all say, but it's the truth. You learn more from failure than you do from winning, or more from losing than you do from winning. And just be honest with yourself, and just don't cheat yourself, and try to cheat everybody else around you, because you'll get caught eventually. As you see, a lot of people right now are getting nailed for some of their stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you,
Oh,
Vince.
thank you.
Super
Thank-
proud of you. You've made Philly proud. Thank you.
It's freaking crazy. I was today. Janet and I. We live on a golf course here, and we did happy hour, and this one guy, just I was walking out, and he's actually a caddy for one of the pro golfers in the PGA Tour, and he walked up to me and he says, "I didn't know who you were. You were that guy, which was pretty cool, because here we are 20 years later. And with Mark Wahlberg, and he busted his butt, man. I'll tell you what, he said, Vince, I want to make you proud. He said, that's my goal here, is I want to make you proud. And it was pretty cool, still to have somebody, an adult, come up and say that to me. So I really appreciate that a lot. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey, Raul, do you want to say the next question, or can I?
how was it like playing with Ron Jaworski?
Oh, he was the best. Oh man, Jaws, you kidding me? Can I give you a good Jaws story?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good Jaws story, because when Coach wanted Ron Jaworski so bad, so he brought him in from LA, and it was in the spring, and it was raining, and me and Danny Franks, my roommate, teammate, best friend, everything, it was raining, and Veteran Stadium was set up for baseball. And if you remember, there's things called the Zambonis, and they would take all the water and scrape the water off the AstroTurf, right? So Dennis and I would get trash bags, and we cut out the arms, and we cut out the head, and we would
Right.
just have them, and we would surf center field. We would run it like hell, and it would just be surfing. Little did we know that Coach Vermeil, Mr. Toast, and Ron Jaworski were watching us from Mr. Toast's box up in the upper level. So when we come into the locker room, we're laughing our butts off, and we're soaking wet, still got the trash bags over us. And there's the three of them standing there, and Coach introduced us to Ron Jaworski. And he said, yeah, that's how Ron is. He's effervescent. He's got such a great energy and smile. And so anyway, that's it for that's the Ron. And then the trainer comes up, Otho Davis, and he's noted for playing practical jokes. And he said, Coach Vermeil is pissed off. He said, you embarrassed him. And he says he wants you up there in his office right now. So, so anyway, I get in the elevator, go up to the fourth floor. I go walking in, and the secretary, or the receptionist says, Coach is looking for you, waiting for you. And I go in, and I says, oh man, and I walk in, and he's smiling and he's laughing. He says, hey, Vince, he says, that was pretty funny. He said, Jaws loved you guys. He says, I understand that nobody knows the city of Philadelphia and where to have a good time than you. He said, here's my card. And he gave me the American Express card of the Philadelphia Eagles. He said, go out and show Ron Jaworski a good time and let him see what Philadelphia is all about. And guess what?
I'll bet.
I enjoy going
I'll
to
bet.
I enjoy going to the city of Philadelphia, because my mom's side of the family lives in Philly, and my sister now lives in Philly, and I'm actually from Northeast Philly. I was born in Northeast Philly. I lived there first 3 years of my life. Then I moved here to the suburbs. And if you ever heard
We're
of
suburbs.
Montgomery County,
Okay,
outside
well,
Philly.
Delco.
Do you know where Montgomery County is? Have you heard of it?
Oh yeah, well, I was Delaware County. I know Montgomery County. I went to St. Joe's, of course.
Yeah, yeah. I moved. I've been living here since June '97.
D-
Did you go to high
Dalton
school in Delaware? Did you-
Dalton is from St. Joe's. St. Joe's.
And he-
Dalton.
Yeah, I'm a fellow Hawk as well. I had a quick question if that was okay too. I didn't want to
I
take
love
too
the hat.
long.
I saw that hat. That's the first thing I saw. That's
Go
beautiful.
ahead, man.
Thank you. So first off, the Hawk will never die. Much respect with St. Joe's, our undefeated football team, as you know.
Yeah,
But
right.
I gotta ask you, with the movie with Mark Wahlberg, I think that casting is perfect. Was there anybody else that was up in the air that you guys were potentially casting or kicked around for the movie?
Not that I know of. I really didn't know. I didn't ask. All I knew was, Mark and I got along great, and Greg Kinnear was phenomenal. Elizabeth Banks playing Janet, she was so much fun, so much fun. And the four guys, the four guys that were they were my brothers. They were just the best. And Mike Kelly, I see him on Netflix all the time on one of the series, the Ryan series. And I'm still in touch with them. I'm still in touch with Mark. I'm still in touch with everybody. The producers of the movie are the guys who did Miracle, the guys that did Rookie. They're the ones that did our movie. When we won the gold medal just a few months ago, the first thing I did was I texted my buddy who did Miracle, and I said, we're going to have a Miracle too, and that's, those kinds of things.
Vince,
So I never really got into that. Everybody's thought that Danny DeVito would be a good me because It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. But
Nah,
I
nah.
don't think that would be an appropriate casting. He would have to do a little bit more
Wahlberg
weight
was
room.
great. Mark was great, and I got the opportunity to work with him and put him through all my wide receiver drills for 2 weeks prior to the shooting in the movie. Believe it or not, we were training and choreographing. All the football players were Arena League football players, were former NFL guys, and in the touch things, in the rough touch in the mud, they were all first responders. So they brought in policemen and those kinds of things. That was really cool. But so the hitting was real and intense. And like the NFL said when they did that blending together in the movie, they said you couldn't even tell because it was so intense. But Wahlberg was phenomenal to work with, and we're still the best of friends.
Vince, I have the
Thank
movie
you.
on DVD. I have the movie on DVD.
If you have it on DVD, you still have a DVD machine?
Yeah, I use my PlayStation 5.
Anybody out there know what a DVD is? That's it.
Yeah.
Right there. There's the
I know what a
There
DVD
it is.
is.
Look, there it is.
Hey, Vince, if you don't,
Is that great or what?
hey, Vince, if you don't mind, I want to get my DVD and show you mine.
Go ahead. I'll autograph it for you right now. I'll sign it for
Okay,
you right now.
okay. Yeah.
There you go.
Rob, do you have any questions for Vince? You can ask some questions if you want.
No, I think I'm good. Just I really do appreciate your time. Thank you.
Hey, this is cool. What am I going to do? I'll just go and the Phillies were getting smoked, so I'm not going to be.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but the Sixers are going to win.
So did you enjoy yourself tonight, Vince?
Pardon me?
I said, so did you enjoy yourself tonight?
Oh, you kidding me?
The Sixers are winning right now.
Oh, let's go Sixers. Phillies just lost tonight, though.
If it's okay, I had one more question too. I wanted to ask actually about
Okay.
Vinny, your son. So I'm from Newark, Delaware, the home of the Blue Hens.
Oh, there you go.
And
He's two hand.
yeah, I wanted to ask if you had a favorite part about Newark, Delaware, or the Blue Hens football team in general, because they're gritty, man. Joe Flacco, they got some good talent out of there. Vinny Papale.
Yeah, Main Street. Yes, that's it. We stayed at the hotel right across the street from the stadium, and what was really cool is the general manager. As soon as the schedule came out, what he would do is he automatically reserved me a room on the third floor or the fourth floor in the balconies because there was AMC Suites, right? And on the balcony, and he for the Friday and Saturday. Before the game, because he knew Friday night we would all the parents would get together, and oh man, we would just tear Main Street apart. And then after the game, win or lose, So I loved I tell you what, I love the Blue Hens, loved the University of Delaware, and they've got a great tradition there, and it's pretty cool. I used to go there all the time. I go to, well, I lived in Cherry Hill at the time when he was playing, so it was just an hour drive down, and I would just go and take all his buddies out to lunch. One of his buddies is Troy Aikman, was his
Yeah.
teammate, and he was, you know, he was a linebacker for the Rams when the Rams won the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. So
Yeah,
that's,
Troy Reader. Yeah,
yeah.
he went to my high school.
Did
So
he
that's
really?
really cool. You shouted him out. That's
Oh,
small world, man.
what a sweetheart he is. I love him. I text, we still text all the time. These guys are like they're like they're my boys. I say, yo, my boys, you
There
know,
you
and
go.
they're my kids, you know, when I take them out, I had so much fun. They brought the youth back in me, you know, and they didn't treat me. I was, you know what they call me? They didn't call me Mr. Papale. They call me Mr. P. That's the name.
P.
Vince,
Vince.
look,
Oh, there you go. That's it.
yeah, Vince. If you say you want to, I heard you say you want to sign this. If I meet you in person someday, do you plan like to do like a meet and greet? Come here to Pennsylvania anytime soon? Because I
Yeah,
would
I'm
love for
gonna
you to
be.
sign it.
Yeah, I just signed a deal to be at the Oaks card show, and it's going to be in September.
Yeah, I heard it's coming up. So what are you gonna be there that Friday, Saturday,
I
or
don't know.
Sunday?
It's either going to be Friday or Saturday. I think it's either the 10th or the 11th. But I just sealed the deal yesterday, so I'm gonna be up there. So they're gonna fly me in from I fly in from West Palm Beach Airport, Palm Beach International.
The 10th is on a Thursday and the 11th is on a Friday.
So it's either Friday or Saturday. I'm going to be there. I'm not sure. Usually it's Saturday.
What was the toughest team you ever played
The
against?
Cardinals,
Yeah.
the St. Louis Cardinals.
Thank you for letting me know, Vince. So
You're
I'll
welcome.
come if you come on a Saturday. I'll bring this so you can sign it.
Okay, just mention my name and I'll get you in.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
the toughest team that we ever played against was the Cardinals. They were so goddamn physical. We had a game one time against them out there at Busch Stadium. And that was a combined stadium like the Vet. You know, they played the baseball. The Cardinals. They had two Cardinals. They had the Cardinals baseball, Cardinals football.
Right.
And we had three or four guys that were knocked out for the season. One guy wound up in a hospital, returning a cook-off. He just got clotheslined. Got
Yeah.
got caught right there, right in his Adam's apple, and that was the end of that. And I was so pissed off at the end of the game that we were punting, and we only had about 10 or 15 seconds left to go in the game, and I just tore the return guy apart. I just blew him up, and he had a fair catch. And so I just do that. I said just because I could, you know. I mean, and I had a couple. I had a couple. You know, we're wasting Budweisers and pouring them on my head as I was walking through the tunnel. So, yeah, it was absolutely the St. Louis Cardinals were very, very difficult, and the Oakland Raiders, the old Oakland Raiders.
Oh yeah.
There were some bad boys on that team.
Yeah.
But,
They could
Um,
play football.
what was your favorite moment playing for the Philadelphia Eagles?
When I found out that I made the team. And then secondly, when I got invited to the first team party, that was right after the big hit in the movie, and it was after that we beat the Giants. And it was Coach Vermeil's first win as a professional coach, and I got invited to my first team party. By that time, I was accepted by my teammates, and then I was cut from the team, and in my third year, and I wasn't performing really well, and I should have been cut. But he brought me back after 3 games, and he didn't, and Coach Vermeil didn't, and there were signs all over the place, welcome back Vince, welcome back Cotter, like kind of a thing. And Coach, instead of having the offense or defense announced, he had the special teams announced, and I was the last guy. And the stadium just erupted like the Flyers fans just did the other night. And I don't even, my feet didn't even touch the ground. I think I
I'll bet.
probably sprinted that field. I probably did about an 500-yard dash. It was so great.
Yeah.
I love the fans. I was one of them. That's it. You know, I was one of them and the fans saying, you know what, Jesus, just give me a shot. I can do this.
Right.
And God damn it, Coach Vermeil didn't give me a shot. And I wound up, now they say my varsity letter, I got 4 years in and got a pension. I mean, how cool was that?
Oh, I was going to ask you about that. 4 years is the line.
Well, it was 3 years and 3 games. So I got to 4 in. Yeah.
Oh, wow, cool. Oh man, that's great.
Yeah, pretty cool. And I was 34 when I retired. When I came in at 30, most of the guys were getting retired, you know. Here I was coming in.
Yeah,
See this
you're a
chair?
rookie.
Here you go. This is the director's chair from the movie 20 years ago. Isn't this cool?
Let's see.
When when did uh when did Disney decided they wanted to make a movie out of you?
October in 2004.
Yeah.
The NFL Films contacted me in 2002 and said, you know, you're the real life Rocky, and Rocky, the movie is turning 25 this year, and a Monday Night Football wants to feature you and Sylvester Stallone and Rocky on the pregame show and distant replay. And the Eagles were playing the 49ers, so Ron Jaworski and Stuart Scott, who, you know, Boorah, Stuart Scott, they introduced the feature and they showed it. And the next day I was getting all kinds of calls from agents, Hollywood producers and everything. And one guy, Ken Mock, who did America's Next Top Model, paid somebody to write a spec script. They gave the spec script out to guys all over Hollywood, and the guys who did Miracle Rookie, because they knew Disney, they took it to Disney, and Disney picked it up on the spot. And I became a Disney character. And in October 4th, they greenlit it. And October 5th, we filmed the movie in Philly for 13 weeks. And around Labor Day 2006, here we go. Ran #1 in the box office for 2 weeks.
That's excellent.
Our dream, everybody's dream. It's everybody underdog dream. That's what it's all about. That's why, and it's more than just a football movie. It's got a lot of layers to it.
Yeah, yeah. I can imagine. I was going to ask a question, and I forgot what I was going to ask you.
Sound like me.
Um, when the Eagles won the first Super Bowl in 2018, how was your reaction when the Eagles won their first Super Bowl?
Well, I was there. Doug Peterson is my very close friend, and he lives right around the corner from me. And who do you think sold him his house? Yeah. And we were there. And Doug is the greatest guy in the world. And
tell him he should tell him we want him on our show.
yeah, well, that'll be a tough get, but I'll give it a shot. I know everybody wants a piece of him, but he's phenomenal. He's a family guy, and we go to church with him every Sunday, and we're part of his family. We were
Yeah.
there when his children were born. That's how
We
go
all
back
miss
when he
him.
was
We
a
all
player.
miss him in Philly.
Yeah, he's missed. Well, we knew him when he was a player, when he came in from Green Bay, and he came in as a quarterback, you know, with the Eagles, and he said one of his teammates that he played with the Green Bay was with the Eagles, and he said, "Who should I buy a house from? I need a house." And he says, "You know what? That old guy, Papale, whatever his name is, his wife is a realtor, and that's how that whole thing got started, and we've been best of friends ever since."
The old guy.
The old guy.
The old guy.
Yeah. No, I didn't know
33.
what my name was. The old guy.
The old guy. Yeah.
Who were you inspired by?
Tommy
the most?
McDonald.
Tommy McDonald. Yes, sir, Relove. He played played at Oklahoma. He was a running back at Oklahoma.
Yep.
They ran the option. And then he was one of the greatest wide receivers I've ever seen.
And he used to pop up, and I was a little guy when I was 14 years old, didn't weigh 100 pounds, and was like not even 5 feet tall. I was too small, and my mother was mentally ill, and in and out of I was getting a lot of crap when I was a kid. So I'm pretty thick-skinned. Hey guys, I know I think I've been doing pretty good.
Oh, thank you very much.
Before we wrap things up, do you have any motivational quotes for the viewers?
Well, one like that my coach gave me is now, you know, happy are those who dream dreams and are willing to pay the price. make their dreams come true. And one that I always say, every day is a victory, so just win the day. And it's as simple as that. And that when I used to walk in, when I would get my therapy for cancer, every day right there, I'd see that sign, every day is a victory. And here I am. So I beat it. It's just one more thing they throw at me. I'll beat them all. Anybody that tries to throw or take me down, it's not going to happen. So
I kind of believe you, Vince.
yeah, it was quite a shock, but here we are. So
Yeah.
now I'll be a spokesperson for getting prostate cancer awareness. So all good.
Vince, my coworker here, he graduated from Cheney University.
Oh, I know Cheney. Well, yeah, sure. It's up there. Knew it well. Yep. Good old Cheney had some great teams at Cheney. Who the heck?
Isaac Waters was on that Eagles team. He Buddy Ryan brought him on special teams.
Oh yeah. Oh
The
yeah.
first
good old Buddy.
professional player.
Yep. Yep.
We were at Cheney together, although he
That's
was
right. You're
years
darn
ahead
right.
of me.
Yeah, you're right. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I just about have a voice left, and so it's getting close to my bedtime.
Yeah.
But fly, Eagles, fly, and I appreciate y'all. You're an invincible team. This was a lot of fun. Rahul, thank you so much for your patience and hanging in there with me. And
Yeah,
we finally
thank you.
pulled it off.
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
Thank you for coming on,
guys. I really
Vince.
appreciate you a lot. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you,
thanks for
Vince.
joining. Thanks for
Thanks for
joining.
Thank you. Thanks for
And
having
yeah, and I hope to see you in Oaks in September. I actually live not too far from there. I live like 15 minutes. Live right in
from where?
Collegeville. I live 15 minutes from Oaks.
Oh, really?
Oaks
Oh, okay.
Center.
You'll see me there in September.
Yeah,
Okay.
at the Philly Expo, from the
Okay.
Philly Expo Center. Yeah, I don't live
All
not too
right.
far from there.
Got it.
Thanks so much for your time, Vince.
Oh, you're
you.
welcome.
Thanks.
It was great.
Thank you
Fly,
for your
Eagles,
time.
fly.
Thank you.
Fly Eagles,
Inspiration.
all Philly teams.
Thank you.
Let's go, baby.
Tell Janet we
Thank
said
you.
good night.
I will. Thank you. Dream big, baby.
See ya.
There
All
you
right.
go.
See ya.
Yeah.
Good night.
Dalton, Elijah, thank you for coming on to join.
My
Yes,
pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Dalton,
Good
it was
night.
nice to meet you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys too. Yeah.
Rob,
Yeah.
thank you for joining the show.
Yeah.
No
It was-
worries.
Dalton, how
Thank you
many
very much.
how many
Oh, you're welcome.
famous people
Good
have
to
you
see
got
you,
on your
Reverend.
podcast?
It depends on what you call famous. I mean, there's a different vibe for what people call famous. A couple, probably like 3 to 4, what I would consider famous, but that varies,
Well, it depends on taste. When you
Yeah. Well said, Charles. Well said. Yes.
Yeah. William,
But
can
thank you guys for this opportunity. I really appreciate it. This was a
Thank you.
ton of fun, and it was awesome to meet Vince Papale as a St. Joe's alum. I really appreciate you guys including me in this. So thank you all for the opportunity.
Yeah,
You're welcome, man.
See
Yeah.
ya. See ya.
William, can you wrap? Can you
Have a good night,
wrap the
guys.
show up?
Yeah. Thank you everyone for listening to another episode of Rockin' with Raul and the Free Amigos. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram. Tune in next week for our next episode next Wednesday night. Have a good night, everybody. Enjoy your night. Have a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
See you all next
And
week.
go Sixers.
hold on,
Go
but hold
Phillies, go Flyers.
Hold
Flyers
on.
made the playoffs.
Sixers.
end the
Sixers
show.
next.
Go Eagles.
Sixers next game is on Sunday at
And-
1 p.m.
End the
Against
show
Magic.
so we can end the show so we can talk for a second. I
Wait,
wanted to
hold
talk-
on. Nobody leave. Just end the show. Nobody leave.
Good.
Okay. Yes.
William, what?
What did you think, guys?
It was good.
It was good.
Did
I
I
think we did a good
make
job.
some mistakes?
You did fine.
I don't think we made any mistakes, to be honest.
No.
No.
Yeah,
fine.
Basil, I saw your text. You said quiet. Sorry, I thought we were both.
No, you're
Bye.
good. I didn't want to be mean. I felt like
Thank you
were-
for. Sorry.
I just didn't want you. I didn't want you to interrupt him. Like
Thanks
multiple
for the
times,
call,
I guess.
though. Sorry, I thought we were. Sorry, we were just. All right.
Yeah.
You were good. You were good.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
thank you. You did a great job.
Yeah. Hey,
Great job.
Basil. One thing you have to watch out for your attitude is, and I'm not trying to be rude to you either,
No,
but
I was about to apologize
I didn't like the
myself.
fact you were cursing around me tonight and you curse around James. I didn't like that at all, honestly.
No, I know. I'm very sorry, Will, and I'm trying to work on my aggression towards
Attitude,
people
your
lately. And
attitude, you mean?
I keep feeling like there's things that I can work on myself, and it's being patient with others. But when I see the same things happen over and over again, it starts
We
just
just
adding
don't
up.
we just don't want to look like fools.
Fools. And yeah, and we can work on that for next week for our next guest. But I want to try to get in touch with I text my friend Emily Stevens last night to see if she's gonna come on our show next week. And I want to get in touch back with her again tomorrow to see if she's gonna come on our show next week.
Hey, one thing, guys. Uh, William, you invited Dalton and the Reverend to come on the show?
Dalton, yeah, and Raul invited his friend Elijah.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the future, if we're going to like interview somebody like Vince Papale and you're gonna and
I
you're
invited
bringing
Dalton ahead of time. before Raul.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When you do that, let us know before the show begins because we're in the middle of starting with Vince Papale and then all of a sudden all this other stuff happened and early on in the beginning.
Yeah.
And
we're lucky it went so well. We could have been. It could have been. We had it. They could have had an audio issue or whatnot. We didn't even have it in the script that those guys were joining the show.
yeah. Yeah, but so that we know, that
Okay,
they're
but
there. That's all.
I'll let you guys know next time.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, one
And
second, Nick.
plus,
Give me 1 minute.
and plus, this morning, I got someone he filed. His name is I forget.
Tell us the story.
His name is Nitin, and he's saying he followed us on Instagram today. So he's an agent, and he said he could get some people for us. Like he can get Michael Wick and Donovan McNabb for us.
What?
And yeah,
Holy crap.
Whoever he can get, bring him on.
Yeah, bring him
on.
on.
he could try and get David Tyree. He can get Ron Jaworski for us and Jeff Garcia. He's a agent.
Oh,
He
well,
works
that'd be
for
great.
NR Media, and he had all kind of people he worked with. He worked with Johnny Manziel. He worked with Tommy DeVito. He worked with Lawrence
Giants.
Taylor, Brian Urlacher,
Yeah.
Robert Griffin III, Sauce Gardner. He worked with Bobby Carpenter.
Well, here's the thing. If this agent gets us somebody, whoever it is, and the person comes on our show, and we do a show like we did tonight, then words will travel back. You know what I mean? If this agent wants to get another guy to come on our show, he's going to ask somebody that did it before out what it was like doing that show. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
we always be on our game. And I thought tonight was great. You guys
I
did a
thought we
great
did great
job.
tonight. I thought we
Yeah.
did great. I think
Yeah.
we Raul, what was the issue with your computer at first? Because you were a bit late.
I had problem with my computer.
Yeah, we know that. What was the issue?
The my charger is broken. My laptop charger, so I have to get a new charger.
Okay, when do you plan on getting a new charger?
I'm gonna go this week to get it.
Where?
Best Buy.
Okay, cool.
Are you gonna go tomorrow or like Friday after work or Saturday?
Friday. I'm gonna go Friday.
After work?
Yeah.
So when did
Okay.
you realize your charger didn't work?
When I was connecting when I was connecting it when I was setting it up and all, like 5 minutes to the show when
So you must
everyone
have been having an absolute panic attack when that happened.
yeah
But
Yeah.
You gotta you
survived.
just work on that, Raul. Work on getting things working before they happen, just in case that shit ever happens again.
Yeah,
You're
I'm gonna.
lucky that your phone was able to provide the live stream tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah, Raul, you were very lucky. God knows you would have missed this. We would
yeah.
have had the rest.
I'm gonna get two laptop charger and keep it as backup.
Excellent.
Good
Good
idea.
job.
Yeah,
Well,
and yeah. I remember back in January that my charger stopped completely. My computer completely died, and two of my chargers for my Dell computer were no longer working. So I had to get a new laptop so quickly in Apple. I had to pay the money to get a new laptop.
Yeah.
you like the Apple laptop?
Yeah, I had it since January, 3 months now.
Do you like it? Is it easy to operate?
Yeah, I'm getting
Okay.
used to it now.
Oh, good.
I'm used to it now.
Raul, how was your phone able to do what your computer usually does?
I have Zoom on my phone and the YouTube streaming app on my phone. So I just
Nice. Good job, man. I didn't think you had the backup for your phone to do all that.
yeah I have
Good.
All right, man.
and
It's time.
Sixers made the playoffs, so
Excellent.
we should be happy now.
Yeah.
They're
Oh, thank
they're playing
God.
they're playing the Boston Celtics.
Yeah. Hey, Raul.
Yeah.
On September 11th, you heard what Vince Papale said. He's gonna come to the Philly Expo in Oaks, which is closer to my house.
Yeah.
If he comes that Saturday, I'm gonna go there to go have him sign my DVD.
Okay.
Yeah,
But William,
yeah.
why do you ask about getting Doug Peterson on the show? That kind
Since
of
since he was our coach for the Eagles. He was a good coach. I still
yeah,
like him.
but you shouldn't have asked in front of all the front of lots of people watching the show.
Oh,
You shouldn't have asked live.
What'd
Or
you say,
you wait to
Raul?
you wait to the end of the show, like we did, and then you ask, and then you get your information then. Like when we were talking earlier about cross talking,
yeah.
like during our show, doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I
Well,
just didn't realize that that was included in that too.
I know sometimes you may think of a thought at a certain time. Maybe write it down on a piece of paper or just hold on to that thought until people are finished talking.
Or write in my notes on my phone.
Yeah.
yeah, there you go. And thank you for those notes. I like that, man. I didn't realize I could write type on there until I moved something down, and all of a sudden I got a board there.
Yeah, man. No, well, you learn something new every day. It's that's the best way to collaborate
Oh
on.
man, I made a
Absolutely.
mistake tonight. Oh man, I thought it was
You
a good
didn't.
one.
What? What are you
That
talking
when I
about?
said Doug Peterson's name.
No, 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 no.
Oh
No.
no, don't worry about that, Will.
Don't worry.
Seriously,
Don't worry about that.
don't worry about that at all. I just I just didn't want you to interrupt him like
When he was
a
in the
couple
middle of
times.
talking. Yeah. But don't worry, Will. You did a great job. You really did. I mean, there's no problem. I mean, that's something that could probably just bypass people. You say it and then they don't. Boom! It goes right by them. They won't remember it. You know. You
He's
did a
probably
fine job.
thrilled.
And
Don't
plus,
worry about it, Will. And don't I'm gonna try to take it easy with you, Will. I'm sorry I get so frustrated sometimes. I seriously don't take it too personally, man. I'm gonna try to
we
lay off.
we
Yeah,
just
and
we just want
You owe my friend James an apology too. Honestly.
because James was we
I
told
mean, he
James so
owes
many
us an
times.
apology for having his TV on.
Yeah, he was trying to turn it down. He was trying his best to turn it down, from what I
Well, why
noticed.
couldn't he just turn it down?
I don't know.
That's the
I
problem. Well,
I
when you ask
but
somebody to turn something down and it takes them over 2 minutes to do it, that's not that's their problem. That's
that's why I just removed him from the thing. I have the power to remove him, so I removed
Oh,
him.
you removed him. Good.
Yeah.
Well, he probably So wait,
Well,
why'd you remove him?
he wanted to say hi to his friend Dalton. That's all. He's a part of his podcast now.
You removed him because he couldn't turn it down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you're
Yeah,
wrong.
so that's his own fault. He couldn't turn it down. He must not know how to use his TV. So therefore he got removed.
Okay. Anyway, but May 6th, we are having a we are having another big celebrity. He was on Channel 6 Action News. He owns a coffee shop. It's called Jake Barista, and he was on Channel 6 Action News like 2 days ago. So
What
we have to
what
be prepared for that.
what is his name?
Jake Barista. The name of his coffee shop is Jake Barista. His name is Jake McFarland.
Okay. Raul, you have to do me a favor, okay?
Yeah,
And I've told you this before. We eat between 5 and 6. All right. Wednesday nights, my daughter and my granddaughter come over. That's the only time I get to see them.
yeah.
So we were just sitting down, and when you called me, and I got a
Okay.
lot of shit for taking the phone call. So in the future, if you're going to call me, make sure it's before 5, like 4:30, or after
Because
6.
because we were trying to get hold of you, and because we
I
wanted to prepare for the thing.
I understand that. I understand
No,
that.
yeah, we just have to have better communication. So in the future, Raul, just know that 6 is probably not a good time. We probably should have done the meeting at like 8.
Yeah.
For example, I know everyone has different dinner times, but usually people have dinner around 6:30. I'm sorry I couldn't make it last night, but in the future, Raul, can you remind me that we have a
The
practice
show.
coming up rather than calling me a minute before the practice?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry I forgot about our practice yesterday, right? But
Yeah.
what you can do in the future to prevent me from forgetting that we have practice or a show is call me at some point during the day, whether it's your lunch break or anything, and just be like, hey, Basil, remember, we have a practice tonight.
Yeah, or Basil, if
Okay.
Raul forgets, I can call you in the middle of my lunch break.
Yeah, because I'm
Yeah,
sorry, and
but
that's my fault. That's my fault for forgetting. But just do me a favor. If it's something important, just call me or text me and be like, "Hey Basil, like remember, just we have an important thing for today."
Yeah.
can I say something? Are you guys finished?
Sure, go ahead.
Basil, during the day at work, my lunch break is usually at 12:30 and it's 30 minutes and most of the time we all have to focus on eating. That's what my friend Angie tells me all the time instead of talking, for example.
Yeah, no, that's no problem. Well, we have a group chat for a reason. One of us could have been like, "Just a reminder, it's a practice tonight."
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That sounds excellent.
Yeah.
And
That
the
sounds
more
excellent.
Yeah.
and the more we do this, we're going to get
Yeah,
more
yeah,
better
and
at it.
plus I don't like to be coming back from lunch late because there was a couple times when I came back from lunch late and my supervisor Lillian got on me for that.
Don't ever do that. That's the worst thing you can do when you're
Well, she's
working, is
about to
be
retire
late.
anyway in July.
No, 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 no. Listen,
Oh, thank God.
William, listen to me for a second. I'm not yelling at you. All I'm saying is to you is that watch it, because the worst thing that you can do on a job is be late. Trust me when I tell you that.
You
Believe me
mean
when I
be
tell you
late to
that.
work or late coming back from lunch? Which one? Anything
Both,
in general?
but being late at all. You know what I mean? Late in the morning, coming in, late coming back for lunch.
Yeah.
You got to watch yourself, because your ass will be on the line then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I've been I'm always my dad always makes sure to get me on time to take me to work. And I've been on time lately coming back from lunch back to work. I've been doing that lately.
Very good. Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
I haven't gotten any points or anything.
Okay, good. That's
Yeah,
excellent.
thank God it's not on my conscience, right?
Right, exactly. You're doing good, Will. You're doing good. You're doing better all the time.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Basil, it's mostly my supervisor Lillian who's pretty strict about that stuff. It's mostly her, I think.
Yeah, but if you're late
Cool.
coming
I
back
mean,
from work,
yeah, man. It's just put your best foot forward every day.
Yeah.
and come back. Do you guys have to check in and check out and then check back in when you come back for work? You know, it's a time clock.
No. I just check the time. I usually have timers on my phone set when it's come time to go back to work.
Where do you
Oh,
eat
okay.
lunch? You leave work to eat lunch, or you have?
No, I eat in a break.
Okay, can we talk? Can we talk over phone?
Yeah,